Welcome to Bikes, Boats, and Bivouacs. We have sent our BBB Southern Correspondent, Mr. Keith, to Fort Desoto Campground and Park in Florida. This place is very difficult to get reservations at, so we managed to get reservations for the winter. So we sent Mr. Keith down there to check it out and see where our sites are located. So let's see what he found.
So this is campsite 88 near the front of the turn-in. So this one's site 111. It backs up against the water. Mangroves back there, and then I think a trail, and then on the other side is the mangroves in the water. So this is Fort Desoto. You can see our campsite over here at 145. They're pretty nice sites. They have a water hookup and an electrical, any of the outlets, like 50 amp, 30 amp, and 110. Water right there with my little regulator on it, and then the fuse box, or the breaker box with the 3 different outlet types. No sewer hookup, so you either have to use Birdmobile, which we brought ours with, but I'm too afraid to do anything other than gray water with it because it's just disgusting. I did empty the gray water once, and the one problem I have with this camper and that is that sits a little high. I sized it so it's the size of one of the tanks, and that made it, I think, sit a little higher than some of the smaller ones, so it doesn't fully drain everything. It's good enough. The downside to using it is, this is the back of the campsite, and Hazel. The downside to using it is all the roads are like one-way camping loops, and that means that when I hook it up to the ball at the back of the truck to tow it down, I have to actually get on the main road for about a quarter of a mile to get to where the dump station is for this section. We're sort of all the way in the bottom of the section, and the dump station is all the way at the top. We'll take a walk around. Lots of trash cans. They don't have a big central dumpster here. They put 2 trash cans out about every 3rd site or so. So you just tote your trash bags over. Lots of dog walking or doggy bags throughout the park. You can see one over in the distance there next to the wash house. Wash houses, they typically clean, at least this one, at about 8 in the morning. So depending on your timing and schedule, that might not be great for you. There is another one that's walkable distance. It's about a quarter mile from here. Yeah, you can see them cleaning it now. And then this is just a big circle at the bottom of the campsite. So you can see, like, what is this one? 149 is kind of open. This one's a little shallow compared to ours. But same setup. They all do have a little charcoal grill as well, and picnic tables. You can see the sort of direction towards our campsite. We're gonna walk up out this other loop. First site's 128 through 138. Note the leash restriction is 6 feet. They're pretty good about dogs, with a lot of support facilities and morning and things like that for them. There's a dog beach that's really awesome, which is an off-leash beach that you can let them run. There's a little bit of video of Hazel playing in the beach, but if you have a dog that, like Hazel, isn't used to the water yet, it was a good little training exercise to get her a little more comfortable with the water. It'll be probably a few more times before we actually get her to swim. That in the back there is the other wash house that I was talking about, along with the kids' playground that's down here. We'll go up to this little turnaround at the top of these campsites. These are pretty nice. They also, as you can see, back up against the water on this side. It looks like each one pretty much has that little trail. I think it's to launch. You can see the trail in the back there. We can walk out and sort of look through it. But yeah, so the tide's kind of high right now. It's morning. That will kind of continue going down. I'm here in mid-August, so, well, the first week of August, so your tide experience may vary depending on the time of year you're here. It does get really hot during the day. So here's the circle at the end. We're right around where campsite 138 is, and it just loops around and comes back. They have a lot of these wildlife watering places in the center circles and sometimes near the shower and bathhouse. And then across this little lagoon, that stilted building over there is probably the closest little camp store. So this is East Beach. You can see a nice view of the Skyway Bridge in the background. Probably the closest beach to the campsites when you come out and go south. Once you get to the intersection at the headquarters building, if you make an immediate left, it's like probably a quarter mile up the road. They do have barbecue pits scattered around the park at East Beach. You can see, like, next to this pavilion, they've got them on either side. I think there's actually 3 or 4 actual barbecue surfaces around those rock structures. So this is sort of the north end of East Beach. There's a kids playground there. That's the bathrooms and another one of the pavilions, and then a couple swing sets in a wooded area. Wanted to point out parking at Fort Desoto is kind of interesting. It's a pay by plate, $6 a day to park at Fort Desoto. However, if you're camping, you get essentially free parking while you're camping at any of the sort of pay to park places. So when you fill in your registration for Fort Desoto, use your tow vehicle or whatever vehicle you're gonna take to and from the beaches, and the, you know, the actual attractions, the big fort down on the southern point, because that's the one that kind of gets registered in the parking system, and you only get one of them. Otherwise, like, other vehicles have to pay. So I'm just north of the park headquarters. You can see the flag and the sign in the background. But the reason for doing this is to show you that the bike trail that I am riding on, so the entire park has these gorgeous bike trails that kind of connect everything together. You can ride pretty much from the campground anywhere in the park on these bike trails. So if you're planning on camping here, I would definitely suggest bringing a bike. It's probably that and the beaches and the fort. If you want to read about the history of Fort Desoto, are sort of primary reasons to come here. The trails are very well maintained. They're these big wide trails. They go sort of all the way north on the peninsula and all the way down to the park and around, so you can get pretty much anywhere on bike using these really nice wide bike trails. So in front of me is also where you would get tickets to take the ferry out to Egmont Key, which is only accessible by boat, and another little historical site, although it's primarily a nature reserve now. And then directly in front of me is the actual pier. More pavilions here that you can set up and do a meal at. So as you keep heading down the trail, you do end up at the actual fort itself, and so you can see the fort in front of me, and then off to the right you can barely make out that little blue building. Over in there is where the snack bar is, and they have bicycle rentals and a few other things down here. And then if you keep on going, the bike path continues on and it goes to the golf beach, or the golf pier, which is, well, actually both, which is maybe another mile, maybe slightly more than that, heading back north. We're sort of at the bottom of the peninsula, so this curves around and then heads back up north. And that's about as far as we've ridden the bikes. I think the bike path continues. I just don't know what goes beyond that. So I'm up on the deck of the little camp store, looking out into the lagoon, and you can see a manatee hanging out over there. It's just sort of tootling around. So yeah, at least if you come here in the summer, good chance of seeing a manatee. So this is the beachside food service place and camp store. This is where the dog beach and the dog off-leash parks are. So just down this trail in front of me is a little sandy pathway, and then once you sort of get up over the berm, you can take the dogs off leash and put them in the water, or have them run around the beach. It's pretty unique in that I've camped a bunch of places now that have beaches but don't have any real accommodation for dogs. None of the other beaches allow dogs on them. So Hazel, come. Hazel, a wave is not going to eat you.
It's not going to bite you. Come on. Come on.
Hazel. Well, we're walking this way.
Well, as you can see from this preliminary scouting report, this is a really nice campground and park. We can't wait to get there this winter. If this video helped you, consider subscribing to the channel. It's free. It helps me out a lot. Also, ring that bell. You'll be notified every time I put up a new video, and give the video a thumbs up. That helps it be seen by a wider audience. But more important than all that, go have some fun out there. Hey, thanks for watching.